Hello everyone, it's Vanessa, your homeschool narrowboat teacher, and I'm with Zephyr, and we're just waiting for this lock to fill up so we can steer the boat out. One of the games that Zephyr and I like to play whilst we're waiting for the boat is Stick It. Basically the rules are, I have to try to get the stick off Zephyr. It's impossible, I've not done it yet. I'm not going to give up though. So now I'm closing the gate because I've steered my boat through, and then I'm going to lower the paddle to keep the water level the same inside the lock. And once that's all finished, it's time for our lesson. And today we are learning partitioning. So come on everyone, it's time for your right to learn. Hello everyone, I hope you're well. Today's lesson is all about partitioning. And if you listen really carefully to the word partitioning, you will hear that it has the word part at the beginning. And that is because what we are going to do today is break whole numbers up into their place value parts. This lesson is much better following the lesson on how to add 10 and 100 more than a given number, because in that lesson I introduce you to the basics of place value. But today, if we have a look at our information, I'm adding a little bit more. So underneath our ones column, I'm writing the number 1. Underneath our tens column, I'm writing the number 10. Underneath the hundreds column, I'm writing the number 100. And underneath the thousand column, I'm writing the number 1000 in whole. That's going to be really useful in today's lesson. Now these zeros here, we call those placeholder zeros. And what they do is they hold the place of the number so we know what the whole number is. Because you can see I have the number 1 in every single number here. But to make sure that we know it's not the number 1, we have a placeholder 0 here to show that there is 0 ones in the number 10. We have 2 placeholders here to show that there are 0 tens and 0 ones in the number 100. And we have 3 placeholder zeros here to show that we have 0 ones, 0 tens and 0 hundreds in the number 1000. Placeholder zeros, I'm going to be using that language a bit today. So let's identify how we partition. Well, like most of my lessons, I break things down into a series of simple steps. So step 1 is start with the biggest value. Step 2 is partition with placeholder zeros, which I've done. Step 3 is add to the next value and repeat this process. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to write a number. And you shout that number out really loudly now. Whoa, that was loud. Well done though, you are on form. Yes, it's the number 3021. But we're going to partition it. So we're going to break it up into its value parts. So we start with the biggest value, which is thousands. And look, we had 3 there. And now we partition that with the placeholder zeros. So there's 3 thousands, so 0 hundreds, 0 tens and 0 ones. And then you're going to add it to the next value. But here, look, in the hundreds, there isn't anything there to add. So we skip this one and we go to the next value, which is 2 tens. So we add here 2 and we put our placeholder 0 to represent there are no ones. And that's our number 20. And finally, we're going to add it to our smallest value, which is our ones column. And in there are 1, or there is 1. So 3021 partitioned is 3000, add 20, add 1. Now because you're on form this morning, I can see, I'm going to do one a little bit harder. So I'm just going to quickly, speedily rub this out. There we go, da, da, da. Really speedy. There we go. Okay. And let's see now. Let's make it super tricky because you're all wide awake this morning, which is lovely to see. So we start with the biggest value, and our biggest value is thousands. Have you said this number out loud yet? Yes, well done. 8,958. So we start with our thousands and we have 8 there. Step 2, we partition with our placeholder zeros. 8, 0 hundreds, 0 tens, 0 ones. And then we add it to the next value. And here, look, in our hundreds column, we have 900. So to show that, we write the number 9, and we have 0 tens and 0 ones, 900. And then we add it to the next value, our tens. And there are 5 tens in the number 8,958. So to show we're adding 5 tens, which is 50, we put our 5 and we have our placeholder 0 there for the ones column. And finally, our smallest value in our number is our ones column, and there are 8 in there. So the number 8,958 partitioned is 8,000, add 900, add 50, add 8. And we show that using our placeholder zeros, the value of the whole number added together. I really do think today, because you're on fire, that you are ready for the activity. And I know you're going to do well. Now it's time for the activity. Pause the video and try to partition the numbers. So now it's time for our answers. Number 1 is 8,000, add 300, add 9. Number 2 is 2,000, add 700, add 30. Number 3 was 600, add 50, add 1. Number 4 was 3,000, add 400, add 40, add 3. And finally, number 5 was 9,000, add 9. Now I'm going to go over number 5 so we can lock in our learning. So let's lock in our learning today, because you have really worked hard with the activity and you have done really well with listening too. So I am going to show you that by looking over one of our questions in the activity 9009. But before we begin, I want to tell you about this number, because this number is a special kind of number. Numbers that look the same forwards as they do backwards are called palindromes, and you can have words that are palindromes too. So for example, if your name is Anna or Hannah, then you have a palindromic name. And any number that looks the same forwards and backwards is a palindromic number. So 9009 is a palindrome. Okay, now let's get back to what we're doing today. So today we are partitioning. I've chosen this one because when we are partitioning, there are not a lot of numbers in each of the columns. So here you start the same. You start with your highest place value, which is thousands, and you would write your 9 and your placeholder 0, 100, tens and ones to show this is 9,000. And here we have nothing to add. There are no hundreds in this number, 9,009. And here there are no tens either. So we go straight to our ones, and there are 9 there. So the palindromic number 9009 partitioned is 9,000, add 9. Are you ready for Zephyr's Learning Lab and all her exciting projects? I think you are. Let's have a look. Zephyr would like you to practice your partitioning, to listen to Mozart and find your favourite piece of music. Find out how Britain changed from the Stone Age to the Iron Age. And what about making a marble run out of junk and seeing if you can keep a marble running for more than 20 seconds?